Meister.
Episode 630. Susie Meister here.
Ooh, 630. Oh, Sarah Rice over here. Okay, let me say something real quick.
Yeah.
I had a very embarrassing moment where I had to make a call for my job to another clinician, and I had to leave a message. I have voicemail anxiety like you wouldn't believe.
No.
And then I told them, "Hi, this is Sarah Patterson." That's not my last name.
Oh, no.
And it's not my business last name. It's not what I go on my legal last name. Hey.
Oh, my God.
Then I panicked. And then I really was, I was like, oh, yeah.
Did you
so
say, I mean rice, or what?
I said, yep. And then I said, oh, but you might have me in there. So I know. It just got worse.
It's okay.
I know.
You've had some, well.
I feel like I still have the anxiety of that coursing through my veins. Gotta like work through that.
Though the anxiety is really just about having been anyone but a rice.
Probably, maybe.
Right. Well,
Yes.
It happens to the best of us. And I know what you mean about voicemail anxiety or just phone anxiety.
Yeah, I'm the worst at talking on the phone. Like,
Yeah.
what is up with that?
I read an article in The Atlantic about it, and it was saying how it's not as crazy as you think. And a lot of people just sort of thought of it as like, well, we text more now, so like we're out of practice. But there's actually more to it, because when people used to talk on the phone more, we were using landlines, which are way more reliable and clearer than cell phones. And so we realized that there is like a delay. It cuts in and out, and sometimes we'll just cut off altogether. And so that our anxiety is founded in, a real thing.
All of those things are the things that I worry about.
Yes.
That, first of all, I have to say, like, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Or what'd you say? Or they say that? Or, all that. And then when it cuts out, who calls whom?
Yes.
Back? Whom?
Yeah,
Who?
whom?
Who? Yes.
Yeah.
Got it right the first time, Sarah. Nervous about even that. So.
Well, that's true, because with a text, you can be more thoughtful about your response.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think
But
we
then
shouldn't
that's
be
silly.
ashamed. What's silly?
Yeah, and I should just lean into like the mistakes, because I've learned that with everything is fine. People are generally very understanding because every human has been in a situation. Like, there's no unique situation. I mean, within probably.
Yeah,
So-
and that's part of your charm.
Somebody's experience.
Is like,
What, that I'm just
How
like, oh,
funny you
I
are.
messed up. I did this.
yeah. Well, and like when you make a mistake or whatever, you're real funny about it, especially on Instagram stories.
Oh, yeah. I make mistakes all the time on there. Is there a recent one that was highlighted or something?
No, I just see this as like one of your
Okay.
things, like your shtick.
Oh, yeah.
Is like, oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
my
this
shtick.
just happened. Can you believe it?
Absolutely. Oh gosh, don't jinx me, because I'm going to do that eyelash thing today. That's in my.
I love that you scheduled
Schedule.
it.
Well, listen, my schedule is freaking crazy now. I don't know what I have done to myself. What I don't know what happened.
Well, I think what happened is that your free time is completely occupied with hikes.
This is accurate.
Like the rest
Yes,
of
and
us
that-
are running errands.
You know what? This is true. This is 100% true.
I'm not saying
I have
you're
to, like-
wrong. I think it's great.
You're right.
But it
You're
does
right.
make
Balance.
your weekdays like packed, I bet.
Packed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah. When does it be? Yeah, and then I got to like get my car repaired. Oh,
Did you say your car? Because I was going to say to you,
my
like I was
car.
going to say, when do you go for like an oil change with that kind of schedule?
Right.
What's wrong with your
I need
car?
an oil change, and I need my brakes. I need some brake stuff done, because after like driving on those hills, how many times? Like, whoo! I went up and down those hills
What hills?
25 plus times.
Oh, the powder hill.
mountains to get the powder hill. Yeah,
Right.
So-
Okay. So that's hard on them. I get it.
And drove to and from California, like Los
Yeah,
Angeles
yeah.
to Denver twice
yeah.
in the last 6 months. That car,
It's been through a lot.
yeah. So I need the brakes done. I am the squeaky car. person.
Oh my gosh, this is an emergency.
I know. I can't drive anywhere. I can't. It's so embarrassing. I can't. I never wanted this to be me ever.
No, I'm just worried about the danger.
It just sneaks up on you. And then you're there. You're the squeaky car.
I always was baffled about how in California, you have to do an emissions test, but you do not have to get your car inspected. We have to do that every year in Pennsylvania.
I don't even know what that means.
Like you take it in. I get. What's going on here?
What?
Zoom was weird for a sec. Anyway,
okay.
Like in Pennsylvania, you take your car annually to a mechanic, and then they test everything: the brakes, the engine.
Well, dang, they should do that everywhere.
Totally. It seems so scary to me that there's all these cars on the road.
Oh my gosh!
Because
that's terrifying,
yeah.
and that's like really good for people.
Well, that's
like
true. It's good for small businesses.
Yes, that's very.
But
good.
if you don't pass inspection, you have to get those repairs before they'll give you your sticker, and you can't drive that vehicle.
Well, I like.
Well, how do you know if your brakes are broken otherwise? The squeak?
Well, yeah, it's the squeak. That's it. I just need new. I have them in my car. I'm getting them put on this week, and it was like I didn't even notice it, and then I rolled down the windows, and I was like,
yeah,
I hear it.
This is scary.
And so it's just it's back. It's not even the front yet. So I'm like, got both. I'm getting them redone. I got everything, and so.
Oh my god!
Got the appointment.
I'm so glad you're getting that fixed.
You know, I'm just like, I wonder. I'm like, what? How do people do this? There's like a lot of shit to do.
Maybe just take one weekend. Like a month, and
I know. I said that. I'm doing that.
Okay.
I'm doing that this weekend. I'm getting my hair did.
Oh yeah. See all your appointments. Just
yeah.
Just
put them all together. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, easy. See, Susie, teach me how to be a person.
Okay, first up on my agenda is just before we spoke today, I watched this little documentary on the New Yorker. They have great documentaries on there, and they're short. It was 20 minutes, and this one happened to be it was called Bacon and Laces, and the guy,
like shoelaces.
Yeah. Because the main character, the main guy, he owns this diner that you've seen in movies and stuff. And
Mel's Diner?
It's got a weird name, but you would recognize the look of it. What if it was Mel? Cool. Kiss my grits. And he is blind. And he, I don't even know the point of the documentary besides just being fascinating, because he works there with his son, who's 16, and he's a single dad. He has 3 sons. And I just really liked seeing how he moved about the world without having vision, because he can't write down the orders. So he has this incredible memory. Wow. And he knows the first 100 digits of pi, that kind of person.
Oh, yeah. He's got a whole system down.
Yeah. And were you ever tempted to do that whenever you did the Magic Kingdom or whatever it's called? Memory Palace?
Oh, I was going to say, Susie, what? Yes. One of my favorite books of all time is Moonwalking with Einstein, which is about
the Memory Palace.
Becoming very good at memorizing things.
Yes.
And
were you tempted?
Yeah, I was. No, never. That's funny. Why didn't I do that? I was more into shuffling a card deck and memorizing the order of the cards.
Oh, after you shuffle it.
Yeah, so you shuffle up a card deck, you look at it for 5 minutes or however long you decide to time yourself for.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm a weirdo. No, I'm not. People do this. They have a freaking contest for this. I'm fine.
It is skill building.
Yeah, totally. It's strengthening your mind.
Yeah.
And then you shuffle the cards, and then you memorize what order they're in, and you have a whole system, and you use what they call a... now look at I can't even remember it.
That's the best.
Person, object, action, PAO. So pick a person, have them doing an action with an object, and you put them in a place that familiar location, and in the order that they appear, and then you take the deck of cards away and you try to write down the order that they're in, and then you see if you get it right.
Okay, so you were interested in truly a skill, Whereas the pie thing is more of like something you would do at a cocktail party for like a parlor
Yeah,
game.
because it's never changing. Yeah, it's like the pie,
Yeah.
like once you memorize it once, it's in there. It's like good. You know, it's like your phone number from like where you grew up. Like you can really remember
Oh, fucks.
those things. But
We're doing a
That's fun.
podcast here, Suze. You have a microphone. I'm so
hit the mic. And yeah, so that's what I did, but that's weird. And yeah.
Well, one of the things that they showed him doing is that he and his son collect sneakers, and they up in their attic have 700 pairs of sneakers. And I thought to myself, oh, I'm surprised that he
700?
Yes, like an insane number of sneakers, and you just think like he can't even see them. I'm surprised he's like so interested in like all the different styles and stuff. Well, just because I would think I wouldn't care that much.
I am baffled.
Yeah, so like the son would hand him a sneaker, and he would tell you what it was based on the finger, touch, and also he would smell them all. So I don't know if they smell different. He couldn't tell you the color though, or like that aspect, but I guess he does know what they look like in their construction.
What is the relationship between the son and the father and the shoes?
They share
that
the
something
same
that connects?
size. Yeah. So they
Is that something that connects and bonds them?
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah,
say? Okay.
yeah.
I would think this has more to do with the connection that it like that heightens, that makes
I'm sure
like,
that does add to
reinforces
it.
this for him.
He does
Yeah.
say that he got really into like how he looks, which again is so funny because I would think that'd be the freedom of it.
And where's the I would like maybe I don't know about this. Maybe I'm being
Well, I mean, you still want to attract women.
like ableist
Well, no, I think
in a way, or
wouldn't.
ignorant to what the experience of somebody who is blind is like. If I understand the desire to look good and want to feel your best and like how somebody perceives you and knowing that others are perceiving you in a way, I totally get that. But well, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But like having 700 pairs of sneakers is what I can't get.
Yeah, I
get
think
past.
it's just about like, I don't know, any collectible. To be honest, any collection is baffling to me.
Okay, this is
But
fair.
so it
Yeah,
must
even
be
if it were a
that.
regular father-son duo and you were like, look, they own a diner and they also have 700 pairs of sneakers, I'd be like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I
and
would
kinda
not
weird.
make that choice.
Yeah.
I would, however, without a doubt, choose to get bread and other products from Wild Grain.
Oh, this is your favorite.
It is my
And
absolute
too.
favorite.
There is nothing like that fresh pasta.
The fresh pasta is outstanding. The breads are incredible. And please, the waffles, I mean, that is unbelievable.
Still have to get up on the waffles.
So the way that it works is they send you these fresh, I mean, I guess it's dough because it's just ready to go in the oven and bake.
It's
like
it's
the croissants are there, but they're in the dough form.
90% done.
90% done. Then you just get it out of the freezer, put it in the oven, and then your whole house smells like a patisserie. And then you're about to enjoy fresh baked bread, which what smells better than that?
Nothing.
Yes.
Nothing. Impossible. Oh my gosh, I'm smelling it right now in my mind.
Unbelievable.
Some of those croissants.
It's artisanal bread. They started the company during the pandemic, like when everyone was doing their sourdough starters. So this will save you from
like, we got
having
you.
to deal with that. It's incredible taste, so convenient, and like you put it in the oven for like 20 minutes. It's lickety split. Hungry already? For a limited time, you get $30 off the first box plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/braincandy to start your subscription. You heard me. Free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/braincandy. That's wildgrain.com/braincandy, or you can use promo code braincandy at checkout. I can't recommend them enough. Okay, yeah, so they have the sneakers. They have a cute little relationship. They have the same shoe size, so they share them, the son and him. And then he collects cologne. He says that's the
that makes
blind
sense.
man's jewelry. That's what he called it.
Oh, that's cute.
He used to be a comedian. Like he would perform comedy, and he did a joke. He said, he goes, I ran over my seeing eye dog. He was in my blind spot. See, here's what I like about that. You know how I said If
Yes.
you're the underrepresented group making the joke about your own group, that's great.
That's
now,
great.
if a seeing person does that joke, that is not funny.
No.
I do want to know if it's funny, though, that I was in an interview that I did for Brain Candy. The author used the term blind spot and then corrected himself and said, oh, I shouldn't say that. That's ableist. And I think it's funny that he had a blind spot about blind spot. And I want to know if that's funny.
I want to know what the alternate word is.
Well, that's what's doubly funny to me because
What is
the
it?
other one I feel is also ableist.
Tell me.
Tone deaf.
That is
Both
that
of
is
those
ableist.
words are ableist under that sort of definition of it. If you say that using that word is ableist,
Yeah.
then you're tone deaf about being tone deaf and you have a blind spot about being blind.
Oh,
Am I being offensive? What's happening? Sarah's like dying.
but that is really funny. I can't.
I just don't know
That's it.
why that's ableist, though. Those words.
Well, because like also we've all we would agree that blacklisted is racist.
I didn't know
is,
that.
is like rooted like a because it's. I mean the way that. And that's what I heard.
See, this is
That
what I
it's
mean.
not-
Like, I'm not sure if everyone agrees.
That there are that when you use a term for a group of people in a way that has a negative connotation, it attaches a negative connotation to that group of people, and they become representative of it. Your mind makes a connection between the two.
But what
And that
confuses me
creates-
is that while there are black people, there's also a color black that they are named after.
Right.
And I thought that was the reference, not about a group of people.
Yes.
And the same way that,
And
like,
you're correct. Yeah,
I would think
I think you're
if
correct.
blind means to not be able to see, then a blind spot doesn't seem ableist to me because I was
would
unable
agree.
to see that car.
Yes. Is there? That's what I'm asking. Is there another term for it?
And or is it ableist or not? Mm-hmm. So if you
Yeah.
guys could let me know.
Yeah. We will put it on the list of things we got wrong.
Or, yeah, like things, that changed. Yeah. Because I'm not so sure. Because some people
question.
are
Who-
tone deaf.
Yeah.
They're not literally
I thought I was
deaf.
for a long time.
They're just deaf to tones. I think that's okay.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't know. Keep me posted, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going off
You
on
did
a
it.
tangent.
No, I these are we're talking about ideas here.
We're talking about ideas. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then, I don't know. I guess that's all. It was just really nice. I did like one other thing, which is that the son had applied to all these really great colleges. He got into Harvard. And
Whoa.
he was saying that his essay that he wrote for Harvard, he described working at the diner and said how they have a triple-decker, I think it's a triple-decker sandwich, and that it was very hard to cut because if you cut it wrong, it would sort of topple and like fall apart. And so
Triple-deckers.
in triple-decker, it's not sturdy. And so he worked on like engineering it in a way that had greater, foundation or less likelihood of falling. I love stuff like that.
The order in which the
Yeah.
ingredients of the sandwich go on is like sandwich architecture, sandwich
Which
construction,
architecture?
and I would say there is definitely a formula.
Yeah.
You're either right or wrong about it, and toppling over. Yeah,
I think it's
I
really
say
cool.
lettuce on the base.
A lettuce on the base? I would
Yes,
think you'd
it's
want...
bigger. It sticks out. You want a full.
Oh,
base.
so you're saying...
And then the other stuff, and it
width.
also is crinkly.
I was thinking the weight of each item. Like the heavy stuff should go on the
No.
bottom.
No, I think the stuff that needs to be smushed down a little bit. You know how lettuce, like, there's a lot of space between, so you want to put it on the bottom. So if you put, like, I'm thinking hamburger here, so or sandwich, whatever. You can put the meat then right on top of the lettuce, because then it pushes the lettuce down a bit, so it like makes it so it's, you know, size you can.
All right. Well, think about though. What?
And then cheese on top of the burger, then onion. No, then tomato, then onion, then bun.
Okay, but let's picture it.
Correct order.
Let's say it's 10 feet tall. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa!
I'm just saying.
Who's eating a fucking 10-foot tall sandwich?
Nobody. I'm just saying. It
Okay,
can help.
and if frogs had wings, but they don't, what does that even mean? 10 foot tall?
Maybe if you'd listen. That because by making it extreme, this is the same way we look at cults, so we can better understand normal religion. Okay, so a 10-foot tall sandwich.
Yes.
If you put the burger up above the lettuce, that thing is top heavy.
No, it's going to squish the lettuce down. Lettuce teeny tiny, flat, flat, flat.
We'll have to do a poll.
Thin. Lettuce is thin.
I wish that guy would have said.
What order would you put? Oh, here, hang on. Here's where a wrench gets thrown into it.
Okay.
If people are totally going to say that the meat goes on the bottom, I know they're going to say that. They're going to agree with you.
I don't know.
This is
Theorizing.
if it is shredded lettuce
That's different.
on top.
I agree with you about that. I mean,
But if we're talking full leaf iceberg,
yeah.
I'm going to say lettuce on the bottom.
I get what you're saying about, like, because you want the width down. Is
Yeah.
that part of what you're saying?
And no, it's more like, because when you put it,
You're saying it's squishable.
it's too crinkly. It's too like ripply in a weird way.
Lettuce?
You know what I mean by that? Yeah, and then it acts as like a slip, like it makes the other stuff slip out.
Oh, I see.
feel
I
like.
can see what you're saying on there. Okay, but what?
So
let's
you
say
gotta, like, have it
pickles then.
squished down.
Let's not
Top.
focus all on lettuce. Pickles
are
on top?
What order are you putting things on?
I agree with you. I'm saying
I
you're
will say
being
I've had many
inconsistent.
hamburgers at Susie's house, and they're all been delicious, and none of them have.
This
broken
isn't
down
about
on
flavor,
me, so.
people. It's about architecture.
Yes.
No, I thought
Great sandwich fight of 2022.
I thought you were going to say pickles on the bottom because that would also be slippery.
Slippery
I'm
pickle.
just going by you. I'm just going by your own rubric.
But like, how are you assembling the pick? I imagine there are 3 pickles, and pickles themselves are I would get the ones that have the little ridges on them. You know?
No, I get the sandwich slicers.
Oh, those are slippery. Okay, so it matters.
Depends what
I would
pickle.
put those in a cross on top.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
With the bacon.
Yes. How many of you are dying for a burger right
I'm
now?
so hungry. Okay. Anyway, that was real cute. If you want to see it, it's called Bacon and Laces on the New Yorker website.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah. But it's still weird. It doesn't tell you what
The
it's
shoes.
about.
It's like a spoiler alert. We're going to talk about bacon at our diner and laces because we have 700 pairs of shoes.
Yeah. But usually, like, there's a second meaning, and I don't think that's true in this case. They were real literal.
No, very literal.
Oh, this is funny to me. Okay, let me just preface this by saying I am pro-union, solidarity with anybody that wants to unionize. I love it. But it is funny to me that the medieval times workers are unionizing. Did you read?
I heard about this.
Did you read it? It's so funny, Sarah.
But
But
it's
it's-
not even because
it's real.
It's because of the people suck.
It's because the people suck, and they are right. Like, they should have a union. I support them. I hope they get one.
I totally
But
support that.
fuck, here's some of the things it said in the article. It's
Tell me,
so
tell me.
funny. Okay. It says, quote, sometimes a guest who has emptied one too many goblets of booze starts banging the Middle Ages style plates and bowls together. Changing the heavy dinnerware can spook the horses in the arena. I'm sorry, clanging. Clanging the heavy dinnerware can spook the horses in the arena, endangering the knights as they joust for the queen's honor. It often falls to the queen herself, a mic'd-up actor on a throne above the pit, or her chancellor, Lord Cedric, to gently admonish the overzealous crowd, all while keeping in character, please, my lord, don't bang the plates.
Oh, my gosh.
These bozos.
You're babysitters for a bunch of drunk bozos
Truly.
who are really into fantasy.
It's so funny to me.
Not to offend anybody who's into fantasy. I myself have enjoyed a fantasy book here and there. As you'll know if you are a member of our Brain Candy Book Club.
I don't even think that most of the people that go are the like Renaissance Fair type people. It's just idiots. It's like people that just want to funny.
I think it's people go with their kids.
Yeah, it's just like something funny to do. Although it did say bachelor parties are a real problem on the weekends.
Why are there bachelor parties at medieval times? Okay, wait. Hang on. I feel like my idea of who's in the crowd is very different than other people's idea of who's in the crowd, I think.
I think it's a mix, but you're right. Families definitely go.
I feel like this is... Oh, I'm gonna be mean here.
I love
but
it.
Maybe not.
I love it.
I feel like... Or like make people sad, either way. I feel like this is dad has the kids for the weekend... And this is where he takes them, but he's like bitter about it. And maybe new wife is like off, I don't know, with her hubby.
I love when you do
or
this.
like, you know, his ex-wife is off with her new hubby and he's like pissed about it. So he is like drinking extra at medieval times and then he's like being a drunk fool.
They try to
and
grab
like
the
saying,
falcon.
Hey kids, let me see. That's the part. Like, I'll grab this falcon. Like, and being a dumbass because people do that. And like,
there is nothing
I don't know,
funnier.
that's what I picture.
to me.
I picture single sad dad.
Sarah does this a lot, and it is great every time, which is she creates fan fiction about like actual events. That's what she just did. Like, this guy does not exist, but
No, he does not.
not only does he exist in her mind, but it's like the whole audience is made up of these people.
Totally. And I have like an outfit for him. My mind just creates a picture of like what he looks like. Mm-hmm.
I do feel bad for the workers.
Still, he's wearing the socks that his wife got him from Kohl's that now have holes in them, but he's not going back to buy those because he doesn't know how she got them for such a good deal because he doesn't have the Kohl's card and she gets all the coupons.
She gets all the Kohl's cash.
Yeah, she gets all the Kohl's cash.
And they also added, in another grievance, is that the workers say the rotating cast of queens is subjected to unwanted touching during pre- and post-show meet and greets with fans. Like,
oh
get
my
a hold
God.
of yourselves, idiots.
Oh.
I know.
Who is Have you ever been to medieval times?
Yes.
With Lincoln?
No, this was like in 1999 when I was a tourist in Orlando.
What?
My dad wanted to go. It was that, like what you're saying about the weird dad.
Susie.
Yeah. He thought it would be fun for the whole family. And as Jerry Seinfeld points out, there is no such thing as fun for the whole family.
Is that true?
Yes, Sarah. If your kids are having fun, you would rather be doing something else. Like, you're happy they're having fun.
What about camping?
Uh-oh. Most
like that.
people would rather not go camping with kids. You're
That is true.
unusual.
I don't know.
I think you
it's
would
bad.
have fun on a family camp. I think you would.
Yeah.
But I think most people would think this would be even more fun with like just adults.
Yes. Okay, that's true. This is accurate.
What about
Yes.
camping, she said?
Well, because I'm trying to think of like what do adults have fun at and kids have, and you're saying that in order for the kids to have fun, the adults
They
cannot
have to be a little
simultaneously-
miserable. Which
Okay,
you
I'll agree with that.
And you pointed out correctly that this is also true for skiing. That
in order to have fun, you have to be a little bit miserable.
if you bring kids, it will be much less fun.
Correct.
Yeah. Like it sounds like fun for the whole family.
No.
But it's really just
Because there's 100% chance that a kid is going to cry.
Yeah. And they have to carry their gear and they're mad about it. They're schlepping.
Yeah. So much schlepping.
See, this is our Judaism creeping out.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to medieval times. Did you go to medieval times?
Absolutely not.
Never?
And I think that people would assume I'm the type that has been to medieval times. This is okay. This baffles my mother as well. Yeah. My mom always thought that I would get a job at a place, like my first job would be at a place like Joe's Crab Shack where you had to sing and dance on the tables. Okay. Don't get any ideas, people listening, about what I just said about singing and dancing on table. I know that's a hop, skip, and a jump away from a pole, but that's not what she was talking about. Just because, like, it's like campy. Yeah. Like, my mom thought, like, one of my favorite restaurants when I was little was this place called Ed DeBevick's. It was in LA, and it was a 50s diner, and people dressed up, and there was a woman there who now I believe was a drag queen. And
now I believe.
Like, she was so wonderful. And she said, "Hi, my name's like Sue, but you can call me Queen of the Universe for short." And I was like, this is the best ever. And I was like, I want to do this. So like my mom assumed I would do that. There is nothing I would hate more than to do something like that. That kind of like, so I don't like going to places like medieval times. I don't like going to places where crowd participation. No. I don't want to do. You know what? One of my least favorite things is when a comedian, not anybody, goes, "How you guys doing tonight?" And everybody has to go, "Woo!" And then they go, "I can't hear you." I'm like, I'm out. I hate this. I'm already out.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know why I hate that so much.
I'm shocked.
It's like, I know people would be shocked at this.
One thing that definitely is fun for everyone is KiwiCo boxes.
KiwiCo boxes were a big hit on Father's Day.
That's so
my
fun.
House. Yes.
Wow.
It was fun. It was fun for the whole family.
Right. This is an exception because they're great because they send you this project that's age appropriate for whatever age your child is. And then you get the relief of your child being entertained and you make something really cool. The crafts and projects aren't cheesy, weird stuff. It's like really interesting.
We built a constellation lantern.
I love that one.
And a mobile of, oh my God, and we learned so many cool facts. Like there's something like, I want to say it's like 3 billion Earths can fit inside one of the biggest suns that are in our galaxy. It's a number that's so astronomical. We had to read it like 4 times, and we're still like, what? Yeah. If you like fun facts that are fun for the whole family, it really is great.
Yeah, they're so cool. In fact,
it is hours of fun.
Lincoln has a babysitter today while I record, and they're making the bottle rocket project with
bottle rocket fun. Oh, this is like perfectly timed too for summer.
Yeah, it's engineering, science, all kinds of really fun stuff. It's great, and they have every age group. Pack summer full of memorable discoveries with KiwiCo. Get 50% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line with code BRAINCANDY at kiwico.com. That's 50% off your first month at kiwico.com. Promo code BRAINCANDY. This might shock you, Sarah, but one of my first jobs was at a restaurant like that. Lone Star Steakhouse and Saloon. We had to do line dancing at the
oh my God.
I know, and no one would think I would do that. They would think you'd do it.
I vaguely remember this fact about you. This does make sense. You were a mascot.
That's true. I do love performing.
And I did sports therapy and wrapped the football players' ankles behind the bleachers.
Why do you think, though, that you don't like that? Because it doesn't seem to match the rest of you. How do you explain this?
Because I don't like forced participation.
I don't either.
And there were and it's happened. It happened. I don't know what it is. I must look like I really want to part because I look eager.
Yeah, you do
all the time. I have been pulled up on stage. This started very early when I went to SeaWorld and I got pulled up on stage to do that thing where you kiss the seal and like they used me as like the seal. I must have been about 7 years old. I was very embarrassed. Then I got pulled up on stage at the play The Spelling Bee, where it's like audience part. They pull people from the audience
against your will.
Well, they say before they ask you. I mean, I'm sure they like say, "Do you want to like?"
And then you're in too deep, though.
I'm in too deep, and then I think, yeah, I feel like in all those situations, it was like, you there, come on down. And I'm like, okay. And that I remember being very embarrassed about.
Yeah.
But then probably also liked it. And then
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed that I liked it. So then we got the feelings about the feelings. Yeah. And then, so I think that, and then I wound up on freaking reality television, which is still just like voyeuristic and exploitative. We already know that.
I think if you asked most people, they would say they do not like forced participation. Like, you know, even when the speaker says, introduce yourself to the person next to you. I don't think people like it. But I bet you the organizers or like cruise ship people that do this would argue people think they don't like it, but it really does like break the ice.
100%.
And it's like sucks because they're probably right.
Okay. See, now we're going to therapy. This is therapy with Susie again because I know why this is. Because once they do that, then I have a connection with the person and then there is that closeness. Then I feel a personal responsibility there. And that is like what I do for work. It's like, it takes, like, I love doing that, but it's something that I have to put a lot of energy into because I only have one speed and it's like, connect deeply, and it is exhausting to kind of have to like put myself out there and like, so yeah, I hate when people have to do that, like I get that.
This is reminding me of how great it was at book club last week when one of our book club members said that she had recently been on the dating scene and she's a lesbian and she had to learn a lot of like lingo that she wasn't familiar with.
Yes.
And that there's like different kinds of lesbians, like pillow princess. And then I said, well, which one are you? And she goes, I am a golden retriever mask. And I was like, what is that? And she's like, well, I present masculine, but if you say like, hey, do you want to go to Target? I'm like, okay. And she's like real agreeable and fun. And Sarah was like, I think that's what I am. And then I said, I think that's my type. Like Adam's like that. You're like that. Like,
yes.
Golden retriever masks are the best lesbians or not. Or non-lesbians.
It's great. Yes, somebody who's just real agreeable and excited to be there.
And that's how you are.
And, you know, just give them some treats. And
yes, and that's why when you got up on stage, like you like start to get into a little bit.
I do. And why I totally have a praise kink. Yep. That's kink. It. I'm telling you, that is all I would just tell me. I'm doing a good. I need to be praised. It's different than like love it. It's like does the job.
Yeah, tingly.
Ooh, don't talk about it, Susie. We are on a podcast.
No, but like I know you say it's a kink, but like. Isn't it sort of?
I didn't make that up. Oh. I took a test, and that's what it says. Like, that's what the TikTok algorithm told me I was because I like somehow wound up there.
But it's not just in the sack, though. You like praise always, right?
I mean, who doesn't? Yeah. But it's
different.
It's different. I think it's got to be like it's praise from the person that is my romantic partner makes me feel
Randy
like. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I know that sounds like everybody would like that, but
it gets you hot and bothered, whereas the rest of us are just like, oh, it warms my heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
Like, yeah, feels good versus, oh, that feels good.
Okay, well, anyway, I hope that the Medieval Times people get a union. They deserve it. They were making it said $13 an hour. And they're expected to like take care of these horses and they're totally underpaid and exploited.
Totally.
Yeah. Because they probably have like they love to perform so much and there's not a lot of jobs. So then they get exploited because they're willing to do it.
And the Renaissance Fair only comes by like once a year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that's not that's seasonal.
I don't even think that they particularly love medieval times, like the.
I feel like era. You think they're all just actors?
Yeah.
I think there's like a Venn diagram there of like actors and
enthusiasts for the era.
Enthusiasts. Yeah, it's kind of like Disney workers.
I get what you're saying. I think the reason I didn't think that is because in LA or just outside, there's one of these types of places, but it's called Pirates Adventure, which it is a blast. I loved it. We went twice or 3 times. It was so fun. Because it's silly, you know?
Susie's like, who would go to medieval times? But, Pirates Adventure is like one of my favorite.
I'm pretty sure you said who would go to medieval times. I've been to medieval times.
Right. That was me.
But
no, I understand.
In this case, it was because my son was obsessed with it. And so then it does make it fun. Whatever. And you know how it is. They tell like jokes that are like double entendres so the adults think they're funny. Whatever.
Yep.
And so I didn't think that the medieval times people were into medieval times because I don't think these people are into pirate life. I think they just love performing. Like they're not sea enthusiasts.
Okay.
But you might be right though.
But here's the thing. Is there like acrobatic stuff in the pirate one? That's where I think it's different.
How did you know
I don't
that?
think because I know the type who's going to do the pirate thing. We got swinging on ropes.
Swinging.
So we got the Cirque du Soleil type. We've got that. That's it. Who I imagine the crossover for gymnast may be. See, I fucking know these things.
Yeah, she does. She does.
And it's different. Medieval times, we're on the ground. We're doing a lot more. It's a lot more about the character. Am I right?
Yeah, okay.
Except for the horse people, which in that case are horse people. And horse people and fantasy people and medieval time people, that's a perfect circle.
Yeah.
Venn diagram.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. We made a lot of progress.
There you go.
You should go to that pirate one. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be controversial. Okay. You know what?
Controversial?
Before I get controversial, I should probably get out of the way. Since I did it was like therapy with Susie earlier, I should encourage you to try BetterHelp.
There we go.
Yeah. Because this is serious. It's not like the thing I'm about to talk about where I'm going to be like silly. This is serious because everyone needs someone to talk to. And
so important.
Yeah, your brain and your soul will benefit from having that person. And what's great about BetterHelp is it's very convenient. It's online therapy. So it's like video, phone, chat. You don't even have to be on camera if you don't want to. And you can be matched with the therapist in under 48 hours. So if you need one in a jiff, that might be a good option. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/braincandy. That's betterhelp.com/braincandy. Basically, everyone has something that's on their mind. Stress, relationships, whatever.
Yes.
So,
yes. And I find even just starting the process of reaching out.
It's like a muscle.
And finding somebody to talk to. Yep. Mm-hmm. It makes you start to feel better.
Yeah, I like that. That's such a good thing to say. Okay, so this is me being... Okay, you know how like historically on the show we talk about how we are sex positive?
100%.
I think I might not be 100%.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, I think I've discovered this about myself. Because remember when we talked about like the people that get like dressed like babies and go in a crib? And I was like, listen, I try to be like whatever. It doesn't hurt anybody. But like that's a bridge too far for me. And there seems to be like more and more of those where I'm like, okay, but except for that. And,
okay. Where you're like,
my list of things where I'm like, I don't know, is maybe longer than I'd like to admit.
Okay. But we have to define our terms here. But what do you like?
I'm a little bit judgy.
Being judgy is different than being able to accept that somebody chooses that lifestyle for them.
Oh yeah, I can accept it. And I especially like nobody's getting hurt, so like for real, just do whatever you want.
You are sex positive in that way then.
Okay, but
you can still
judge them.
Have
I didn't know that.
You are allowed to do what you're allowed to have feelings towards a group and be like, because feelings are feelings. Their feelings go with a belief system. Yeah, feelings go. We can ask ourselves, why do I feel judgmental towards them? Then unpack that. And then maybe through unpacking that and understanding a group better, that judgment can turn into compassion and empathy, and those feelings can change. But you can't be judgmental towards yourself about having feelings of judgment. They're just feelings.
Okay, that's nice of you to say.
The things that you can be mad at yourself for are the actions that you take with that judgment.
Oh, all right.
We're not responsible for our first thought or our first feeling. We are responsible for our second thought and our first action.
I feel like talking about it on a podcast, though, is the first action. So you might be saying, okay, Susie, this is not sex positive. Because if I'm talking about it in a public forum, then that could be more harmful than just my feeling about it. Well, you can be the judge.
I think this falls into the category of unpacking it.
Okay. And I'm just doing it in a public place because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think.
Yes.
There was an article in BuzzFeed News, which they often have really great long-form pieces about like different subcultures and stuff. It's kind of like Vice in that way. And I do find it so interesting to hear how other people live, even when it makes me uncomfortable or I think like, I don't know about that. And this would be an example. It was about sex dolls again. We've talked a lot about sex dolls over the years, but this was ones that women buy. So they were focusing entirely on the industry from the point of view of their female customers that buy male dolls.
Okay.
And like they were early in the article talking about like just how they're so cumbersome and women have trouble like maneuvering these guys.
Yeah, it's like carrying around a dead body.
Yeah, and like they're hoping that the industry can meet their needs and make dolls that are more, manageable for smaller people. Right. Okay, whatever. I'm just fine with that. But then,
ooh, this is where's the line? I like it. Where are we going?
Well, a lot of the people that they talked about in the article that sought these dolls were women that had suffered some great loss. And one was someone whose daughter died. I think one's husband had been in an accident. And so they were using the dolls. Yes.
Oh, this makes sense.
Okay. So there was a sexual component to some of them or most of them, but the primary purpose was emotional support.
Yes.
Okay.
Emotional connection to something that cannot die or go away.
Okay, right.
That they can pour all their love and take care of, especially mother-daughter thing. You lost your daughter, then you take care of. You will try like that.
And you would say, well, they wouldn't get a dog because the dog could die. It's too risky. All right, that's an acceptable explanation. But
this is a stepping stone towards like I can love somebody again, and then maybe like through that you can let it go.
Yeah, but none of them talked like that. None of them,
because they don't know this. They're not aware that they're doing this, as most people who engage in things like this aren't.
Okay, so you're saying like they don't get that it might be a means to an end, or hopefully is in my mind.
No,
but it could be that. Mm-hmm. What annoyed me was that one of the ladies, and I think it was the one whose she has a husband, but she also has this doll. And she said, I don't get why this is seen as, I don't know why it's stigmatized, because a lot of women...
Wait. She has a husband and also has the doll?
Yep.
Wait, okay, so got married. This is the one that lost the daughter?
No, it's a different one. She has a husband, and she was just like, it was an imperfect relationship, but they love each other and they're married, but like she wanted more. And so she got this doll and she had to like explain it to her husband, and he was weird about it. But then he eventually came around because he said she does have fewer panic attacks now, and it seems to be like helping her psychologically and emotionally. So like, what's the big deal? And he's right.
Externalizing.
Like he is right that like, what is the big deal? But she was saying, I don't understand why it's stigmatized when a lot of you ladies have these sex toys. Like
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, what is the difference?
Well, to me,
it's just a bigger sex toy.
No,
but I don't want to cuddle with my sex toy.
That is correct, because what she is not putting together is it's like she was almost there. By making that argument, she was almost getting why we're repulsed by it, some people, or made to be felt discomfort. But it's because the dick is a entirely anatomical and biological tool. It is not an emotional salve.
But for a lot of women to be able to enjoy sex and that dick, they have to have an emotional connection.
I don't know that to be true.
I do. That a lot of women cannot be sexually aroused without having like feelings of connection or feelings of like that women need to mentally be there in order to have an orgasm.
Yeah, but that's what fantasy is, and that's why masturbation, typically is one of the solutions. Like you're not emotionally involved in that moment.
I think women are looking for emotional connection, and the emotional connection is what they feel. And because emotional connection makes us feel excited, and like that is, I feel like that's where the sexual pleasure starts, is that, ooh, I feel so emotionally connected to this thing. This thing has a penis. I now get off on that. I feel like they weren't seeking.
Well, this was not for her about sex,
the
though.
doll. Right, that's what I think. I don't think they are using it in the same way that people use a dildo.
That's
or
why
use
she
a
shouldn't
sex
make
toy.
that analogy then, because
Well, I agree with that. Yeah.
Because what I thought she made a better point about was, like, if you're suffering from grief or some sort of issue, alcohol is far more accepted than this doll,
Yes.
and is far more harmful.
Ugh. No, I mean, yes,
Right?
definitely.
So, like,
Yes.
that to me is a better argument than the dildo comparison. Because the
Yes.
alcohol...
Did she say that? She said
said
that?
alcohol and dildos. So, to me, dildos are a physical, biological thing. Alcohol is emotional. It can be, for sure.
Yes.
And this
Correct.
doll apparently is, too.
Yes.
But really, lady,
Totally.
you can't figure out why these are stigmatized? This is a real head scratcher for you? Like, to me, that's insincere.
I feel like what they want to say is not, I can't believe people don't understand this, is I think what they want to say is,
Can you stop
if
it?
people took the time to really understand where this desire for me to have this doll comes from, then they would be compassionate to it or understanding.
Yeah. Well, here's the way you
But-
do that.
So the answer is, I can't believe people aren't compassionate and understanding to me.
Okay, but here's the technique on how you make someone be that.
Yeah.
This is like a catch-all. You guys should use this. I use it all the time. It goes like this. I know this is weird, comma, but. That
Yes.
way, you're allowing us to be like, that is weird. Like, internally, we're allowed to be like,
Yes.
yeah, that is weird, but I get it. Or I can see how that would be useful. So by saying, like, I know this is weird, but you're validating the societal norm that you do not develop a relationship with a doll, you weirdo.
I understand what this. It's so hard because I'm with you.
I know you
I'm
are.
right
And
there
if
with
we were
you.
not on the air, you'd be even more with me. But you're picturing all these people listening that you feel empathy and compassion for.
Yes.
And so then you
Yes.
do this other thing where you're like trying to be nice.
Yeah. Because, like, I am at the end of the day understanding compassion towards others. I feel like, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
But I also understand, I can understand that she doesn't have, like, where that even comes from. That if she says, I know it's weird, then she's accepting that she's weird.
Do
which
that.
but she might not be there in her grieving
I know,
process.
this is what I-
or whatever else is going on. So, like, that, I have I have to. I don't know.
No,
I
you
wish
do have to. Like, it
know?
is totally your job. But, like, you really have to.
this is why I'm good at my job, because I can do that, and I do see that. But
I get really fed up with people when I feel like it's so obvious that you have genuine issues that you need to work through to be a fully functioning person, and that instead they buy a goddamn doll.
I wish that the first step for a lot of those people was therapy.
Yeah.
Because I think we would be able to
But you think maybe the doll could lead to those
Get around the doll.
those epiphanies,
Yes.
yeah, and maybe
Yes.
so.
wow, this is a very bizarre way for me to handle my grief. I think I need to talk to somebody. And they talk to somebody and they go, well, what is your, and they do exactly what I just did in this conversation. They go, what does that represent? Blah, blah, blah. We're externalizing. What do we really want to say? Could we talk to I just keep going back to the daughter who passed away because I could so easily see. They made a freaking TV show about that on, I think Apple TV. That's about a mom. Oh, no, I don't. I mean, spoiler alert. I'm just going to say it. But like the mom's daughter dies and her therapist gives her a doll or like I don't know if the therapist does or she gets a doll or says, yeah, that's fine. My brother just told me about this. He was watching it. And I think you don't know in the beginning if it's a doll or a real.
Oh, for Pete's sake. And
then they get a nanny and the nanny then treats the doll and the dad is like, okay, you need to go along with this and you need to just treat the baby like or treat the doll like a real baby because this is part of her healing process and everything.
Absolutely not.
I don't think this is as rare as I think. I mean, it is rare and unusual, but I bet this is.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Asking people to suspend reality for your emotional safety.
Well, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Insane.
That is absolutely ridiculous. But I can see that people would think that this is a way to cope in a situation that is very traumatic. And
one lady, she said these things they look like they're real sturdy, but they can break pretty easily. I dropped this guy, her doll. I dropped him, and his hip was dislocated, so now he's confined to a wheelchair. And so then...
Oh, well... Thank goodness she has a doll and not a child. This could turn easily as Munchausen by proxy.
You're acting like they're all the same person. They've all...
I know, because this is what I do, is that I picture I create a fan fiction for this person.
Okay, wait. So then she calls the museum, and she's like, hey... I want to bring my doll in the wheelchair. Is it okay? They said
to the Dolly Hospital.
No, as an outing because she was saying she has anxiety.
Oh, she calls a museum. Yeah. Oh, I thought I was like, is that what we're calling the place that made these dolls a museum? I didn't know. I had questions for a second. I was like, I'm just going to go there, but that is not. You meant an act. She took her gentleman, plastic gentleman, on an outing.
Yeah, because she said she has anxiety and he's supposed to help her, and she couldn't really take him to all the places where she has the most anxiety. So she wanted to remedy it. So she went and she took him to the museum. And then she put a sign on him, and it said, "This is my emotional support doll." Oh,
I was going to say,
and please don't take pictures of me. Please don't judge me, and please absolutely do not touch it. Him. I can't remember if she said it, him, or me. I don't know. I think she said don't touch. I don't know who. Okay, and then she was mad because everyone gave her dirty looks. You are breaking rules of society, so that might be mean.
Right.
But
you're going to have to accept the things that go along with that. If you want to go out in public with that, then those are going to be the things that you're going to receive. And if you don't want to receive those things, what are ways that we can process this maybe without that so that you don't have to deal with the come on, this is, I want to know, is she with a therapist? This therapist may be very weird.
That is what I'm saying. There was no talk of therapy, and there was no talk of this is a temporary transitional thing. This is look, I've solved the problem. And I'm like, you didn't, dummy.
Well, it'll go one of two ways. It'll either, it depends on what can often happen is the people around or go, okay, I'm sick of this. You need to go to therapy. And it's through the threat of the loss of other relationships that are important. Yeah. And that's the thing they don't want to lose is those people around them, that they will go to therapy as a last resort, and then it'll help them. Yeah. But those people, it's hard because then they're like the people who are resistant to.
If you feel...
Good story.
Yeah, if people feel offended, Suze, you're being too mean. These are people in pain. I can see what you're saying, and I'm going to think more about it, but I'm pretty sure this is not the answer for your grief. Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. But...
You're right.
Yeah. Just like alcohol. I mean, it is the same in that way. That is not it's not going to solve the problem.
Anything that, is, but it's in a different category.
Yeah, because it's not harmful.
It is the breaking social norms.
Oh, right.
Though.
Well, that's what she's saying.
That then other people. It's like if you were like, I'm trying to think of a good. For the same way that somebody who does extreme body modification, they do that to, relieve feelings of body dysmorphia or what I'm thinking about the people who turn themselves into like lizards or whatever. You have to accept that other people are going to look at you peculiar if that is what you want to do. So that I feel like is I don't like that she doesn't do that. That is like, well, come on,
you're so nice.
That's a her problem, not a everybody else problem.
Yeah. I will say the article was well done, and it certainly is food for thought. I mean, it does make you... Mm-hmm. And it is funny to me how differently men use these dolls usually compared to women, or at least think they do. They think it's entirely sexual when probably there's emotional stuff for them, too.
100%.
Because you said, like, it won't get rejected. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But it's more it's more sexualized in the articles than it was in this one. So that's interesting. Maybe they are aware it's an emotional thing, and that's just not how it's portrayed.
I think there's two different There's a sex doll buyer, and then there's a
companion.
Companion. There's the one who looks like the real woman, and then there's the guys who are buying it to like just fill the room with their friend's bachelor party, or like
totally.
like as like a joke. And I think we've created when we hear sex doll, we kind of think of that novelty one in a way that maybe some guys were using, but like it was kind of like a joke, right?
Yes.
Inflatable doll.
Yeah.
There's a picture of you with Johnny holding one, and you looking all weird.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least I got the joke with those guys.
Like that. No, like no, you weren't. I was just like making fun of like the face you were making because it was so funny. But I'm saying like
it's a different
that,
type.
Like Johnny's a jokester, and he's the kind who's buying that.
Yeah, he's not banging it.
So that's who people are looking at as like
sexual.
That's like sexual.
Yeah.
This one, I think they're two different groups.
Okay.
And the other ones are emotional and don't want the rejection.
Yeah, they have some
and
things
also
they need
want
to
to masturbate, or want to, and might as well masturbate into that thing than into my fucking sock. I don't know.
Let's wind it down.
Let's.
I'm dying.
Whew.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, we discussed some ableist topics. We'll get feedback from you guys about that.
Yes.
Sandwich architecture. There was a big debate about that.
Yeah, oh my gosh, we're definitely going to have a poll. What order? Yeah.
I'm looking out my window and I see my nephew who lives on my property playing with his cat, and it's adorable.
Oh.
That is
taking a picture with that Brain Candy Podcast cell phone cover.
I had to take his picture because that's so cute. Anyway, and basically, like medieval times, solidarity. We hope you get a union.
Yeah. Hope you get a union. Definitely need to get paid more.
Yeah, stop spooking the horses, you weirdos.
Yeah, and if you're going to medieval times, like, be cool.
Yeah.
Be cool, sad dads. Be cool, sad dads.
This is not going to fix your divorce issue.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, sex positivity, whatever. You get it. We got to go. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review and subscribe and all that.
Yeah, check out our merch.
We love you.
Bye.